and this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Please consult with a qualified financial professional for advice specific to your situation. The views and opinions expressed are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect those of the podcast producers or sponsors. We make no representations or warranties regarding the accuracy or completeness of the content. Hi, my name is Bella Carrasco, and helping others feel confident about investing brings a huge smile to my face. After working in the private equity, family office, and securities markets for nearly a decade, I am breaking down the world of money, investing, and financial freedom. Work optionality isn't a dream. It's a decision you make today. I bring you actionable tips, expert interviews, and enlightening strategies to help you get richer and stay that way. This is the How Do You Know podcast. This episode was important because we need to save to be able to invest. And to save, you have to have a job or some sort of regular income. You want to make sure you're keeping it moving up, making sure you are having a client base that is happy with your services, but while also growing it. So these skills not only help us keep our salary or our jobs or our businesses, but increase it over time so that we are able to invest even more so. You just also never know what can happen in terms of black swan events or job security, so have diversified sources of income is also really important. But to start off with self-awareness, I always reserve the right to be wrong. I always try to be curious and err on the side that I don't know everything. So being self-aware is something that is very important to me, and having that emotional intelligence to try to take the other side. And you have formed opinions and you have certain education. Some things might be stronger than others, but just always remember that there are times where you could be wrong. And so being curious and leaning into that is something that is an important trait to have. Another really important aspect is communication. No matter if you're talking to clients, your spouse, your kids, your friends, being able to communicate appropriately and respectfully is something that will continue to keep those relationships strong. So just making sure that you are able to communicate clearly and effectively will help you in every aspect of your life. And so whether you need additional training in that or coaching, those options are out there. And at the crux of everything is communication. So just being able to make sure at the core that you're able to do that at the best of your ability is also something to be truly reflective on yourself about. Another point that Bill and I were discussing was delivering tough feedback. I also am in the belief that clarity is kindness. And so even though it is so hard to be quote unquote mean to someone, or you feel like you're going to hurt their feelings, in the long run, they will be better off for it. And if you give them that clarity, then there are no surprises. So if they're not doing something effectively and then you end up having to fire them, you don't want them to be confused or them not being aware that these sorts of things were an issue. And so even though it is really tough to deliver that feedback, it is something that we can, I'm sure, all hone on a little bit better. And so hopefully the episode with Bill gave you some good tips on how to maybe do that. But something else that Bill touches on is executive presence. He helps people in career growth and financial opportunities. So putting yourself in uncomfortable situations like saying hi in the elevator or taking the stairs so you can keep those muscles fresh and dealing with hard situations and how you react to it. Another aspect that can help in career is actions. So I am a very firm believer in actions over words. Being reliable and doing what you say you're going to do is something that's extremely important to me and actually one of my pet peeves. So being able to actually execute is all that matters at the end of the day, because you can say you're going to do this or that, but unless you actually carry out the action, then all of those words become incredibly meaningful, become incredibly meaningless. I think one of the easiest examples is New Year's resolutions. We all have these goals at the start of the year, especially fitness. You see the gyms are packed in January. They start lightening up in February, and by March, half of everyone is gone. So if you don't revisit those goals, they can become meaningless. So being able to make sure that these goals are at top of mind are actually ways that you can implement them and not just say you're going to do something, but then actually carry it out. And even though we are all very busy, especially in this day and age, the habit stacking has been something that's been efficient for me. So if I'm already brushing my teeth, or if I'm already eating, or if I'm already doing XYZ in a day, just adding one little thing on top of that can help you then actually implement the new habit that you want. Something else that Bill's curriculum touches on are accountability groups. And I do think that those are also a very successful way to implement what you want to implement. So I wanted to lose weight for my wedding, and I would send my progress pictures to my sisters and my mom. When I wanted the cookie, I thought of sending the picture, and so that deterred me, or at least made me think twice about actually eating the French fries or the cookies or the cakes. So just even that simple act of knowing that I had to send that picture in, as silly as it sounds, made me actually reverse the want that I had. So I also came from a place of fulfillment instead of lack. So instead of saying, oh man, I can't have the cookie, I would say, oh man, I can't wait to reach my desired weight so that I can look and feel great on my wedding day. So again, like for example, just listening to podcasts is simply entertainment unless you actually implement it and revisit the items and concepts and educational pieces that you're learning. So again, we don't always think about the soft skills when we invest, but it's important to ensuring that we do keep. Again, we don't think about the soft skills when we invest, but it is important in ensuring we keep our jobs or move up the ranks. So I hope you found this helpful. Until next time, adios. Thank you for tuning in today. If you found any value and want to support the podcast, I would be forever grateful if you texted someone the link. You can say that you have a podcast episode that may be interesting for them. Also, if you have questions or topics you want covered, please don't hesitate to reach out on LinkedIn or Instagram. Remember that every step makes a difference. I hope that you continue to learn how to get richer and stay that way.